For this video, I'm going to discuss the Lesson 7 Media, Multimedia, and Digital Media for TLE for BTVTED second year. I'd like to present to you the objectives. First, understand the meaning of media, break down the use of different media, appreciate the media in the new normal, and create a project that will use different media application. That means by the end of this video, we're going to focus on the media. Okay, so I'd like you to answer in your note the interaction log. So please write it down in your notebook. Media and information provider, we have examples here. We have TikTok, Facebook, Messenger, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, television, book, and newspaper. Now, I want you to answer the number of hours in a day you are spending on the different provider. So, for example, for TikTok, you are spending 1 hour in a day. For the Facebook, 1 hour. So, that means it will depend on you as a user. So, please be honest in your interaction log. Okay, I will give you time to answer. Again, enumerate the media and information provider. These are just an examples, and then of course you have to answer the number of hours you spend in a day. Again, you spend in a day. Okay, so I hope we're going to proceed to the next slide. Okay, now let's discuss what is media. So media is a plural form of medium. Medium, a means of communication that has a power to influence people. So that means the media itself is a tools application that we are using for a communication, and since we communicate, so that means we have the power to influence people. Even how you discuss with your students, you can influence the learnings or information that they can understand. So that is the meaning of media. Again, it's a medium, which means a means of communication. What do you mean by means of communication? Those are things or tools that you are using for a communication. So for some examples, we have radio, television, and newspaper. So by the use of radio, television, and newspaper, we can get information. So some of us, as a reader, we are influenced by the writer or by the author. Okay, so we have media literacy. It is an ability how to decode, analyze, evaluate, and produce information. It's verbatim from UNESCO MIL curriculum for teachers. That means we are not just obliged to use the technology, the devices, but of course we have to be media literate. For us to be media literate, we have the skills or 4 skills that we need. So number 1, again, decode, analyze, evaluate, and produce information. For the birth of media, we have one name to remember. We have Johannes Gutenberg. So who is Johannes Gutenberg? He invented the printing press in the mid-1400s. Again, Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing press in the mid-1400s. For today's media, messages aimed at mass audiences, which means when we talk about mass audiences, we are targeting a lot of audience, not only by one person, but of course mass audience. Can be delivered in many different forms. So we have here the example, print media. Those are books, newspapers, magazine. Billboards, banners, posters. So best example for that is in Manila. So they have a lot of billboards. So by posting information or like celebrities in the billboards, so we get information, we can read information. So it target mass audience. Direct mail. So we receive mail from different person, from different user. We have the electronic, for example, radio, television, and computer. Okay, so nowadays we are very exposed in a computer. By the use of that, we are exploring the digital world by the use of internet. we access the World Wide Web. So we can get information, we read information, we are entertained by internet. And then of course we have the social media. So nowadays mostly or most of us here have the social media account. You have your Facebook example, another example, the YouTube account, you have your TikTok account, you have your Instagram account. So that we are very in a social we are socializing using the social media. Okay? We interact with other people by the use of social media. Okay, so we have types of media. We have traditional, multimedia, and digital media. Remember, if that is traditional, so the word traditional from the old generation. Okay, so before they are just using the paper, pencil, communication, also those radio that has the antenna, also the television that has antenna, so that belongs to traditional. We have the multimedia. It's about the production of forms of media into a single cohesive product. So one form or one project that it has the combination of elements. So later on we will discuss further. And also we have the digital media. So it indicates the use of digital media, indicates the use of computer technology to combine various forms of media. Okay, so let's proceed to the multimedia. So we're not going to discuss the traditional, since you know the traditional, again, the traditional from the old generation. So the multimedia has the 5 elements. Remember this one: text, audio, photos, graphics, animation, and video. By the combination of these 5 elements, we have the project. It is called as multimedia. The word multi, we have different form of media. We used different elements. Okay, such progress is seldom abrupt, but rather a steady, progressive, and intricate process that occurs over a relatively lengthy period of time. Okay, so we need also to consider those multimedia that has interaction, attractive, and can motivate to our audience. Okay, especially to our students. So multimedia, another definition, it was first used in the 1960s. By the mid-90s, computers that included CD-ROM drives were being referred to as multimedia computers. So CD-ROM are those a type of something for the CD type, DVD type. Okay, so nowadays we are using the flash drive, the SSD. So rapid development of better technology during the 90s and 20s made multimedia titles more and more interactive. So in your generation, it has more production of multimedia, which is more interactive. Okay, so multimedia has numerous application in the modern world, including first the presentation. So as a teacher or a future teachers, your presentation should apply the multimedia. Okay, so how it becomes multimedia? Of course, you apply text, audio, video, animation, so that it can be interactive. It will attract your audience or your students. Next, we have the computer-based training courses. Maybe some of you experienced the internet-based training. Okay, so you are in a distance. Okay, so the topics applied also, or the authors, okay, the speakers are using the multimedia. Another one is the computer games. Best example for the multimedia is the computer games, because if you are exploring or you are exposed in computer games, you experience also those animation, text, audio that we can hear in the computer games. Best example for this generation, Mobile Legends and other games. And then we have the virtual reality application. When we talk about the virtual reality application, sometimes or some virtual reality application, They are just wearing the eyeglasses to experience virtual reality. Okay. So multimedia is a system of relaying information or entertainment that includes many different forms of communication. Again, when we talk about the multimedia, save it in your mind, it is multi. So we use different forms of communication. Multi. Okay, so multimedia application, number one, we have the presentation. You can apply that one in your Microsoft PowerPoint. If you do the presentation, you can have the multimedia. So it can be more effective. So your audience will listen. Next, the ebooks. So in traditional, it's a hard copy. They need to buy the hard copy. Nowadays, it has a lot of ebooks in the internet. Digital library, it exists even before the pandemic, but in our school, we applied or we experienced digital library during the pandemic. So it lessened the students to go to school and see available books. So by the use of the internet also, digital library exists. Then we have the e-learning, so utilizing electronic technologies to access educational curriculum. Because of the pandemic and since the advancement of technology is there, so education never stop. Okay, so a lot of platform that we can use for educational purposes. So for example, our LMS, Edmodo, Google Classroom, so a lot of platforms that we can utilize for bringing the education also to our students. The next, we have the movie making. So by the use of movie making, we can create content information that we want to share with our audience. Okay. Another one is the video game. So one of the most interesting creation of multimedia technology. So video games fascinate not only the children but all adults too. So remember that the multimedia, it's not only about video games, it's not only about for the children or for the kids, but also some adults are exposed also in a video games because it entertain people, it entertain the user. Then we have number 7, animated films. If you are going to compare the movie films in the old generation, in the new generation, a lot of animated films are more attractive than the old films. Okay, because of the advancement also and the multimedia that we are using, applying in a particular or a video clip of films. Okay, so video games, animated films is another great source of entertainment for children. So again, it's not just about the children, the kids, but of course for the adults also. Anyone can use, anyone can benefit. Okay. Number 8, the multimedia conferencing. So people can arrange personal as well as business meetings online with the help of multimedia conferencing technology. So by the use of online conference, synchronous conference, we are meeting different people in different places. Okay, so for example, meeting your students by the use of Zoom, by the use of MS Teams, by the use of Google Meet. Next is e-shopping, so virtual arena of the e-commerce. So we have the seller, we have the buyer online. We create or we market our products. If you have your products or services through online, we can gain buyers. We can access more sellers through internet. So it expound in today's generation also. Okay, we have the digital media. So before I proceed, I hope that you understand what is multimedia. Okay, let's proceed. By definition, digital media is a blend of technology and content, and building digital media products requires a team of professionals with diverse skills. What you need or what are those skills? So we have number one, the technical skills. So the word technical, it's more on the technical skills. So for example, accessing the internet, accessing the devices by the use of devices, or the digital. Artistic skills, your creativity, analytical, analyzation, and also the production coordination skills. Okay, those are skills that we need for the for the for us to produce a product. Okay, so it has or requires a team of professionals. So what are those products that can be found in digital media? So we have the e-commerce. Again, e-commerce, that is buying, selling online, games, console online, and mobile. So we have games that we can access through our smartphone that we cannot access through our computer or laptop. So it will depend also by in a game accessibility. Websites and mobile applications. So we access different websites, animation, social media, video, augmented reality, virtual reality, data visualization, local-based services, and interactive storytelling. So again, those are just example of digital media product. Okay, so another definition of digital media, so it is an electronic media that works using digital codes to create digital audio, video, or other digital content. This is in contrast to analog media, older technology which uses a continuous signal. Again, the word here is digital. Okay, so that means we are using the form of communication by the use of digital. So again, it could be digital devices, transforming the audio to digital audio, video, and the content. So digital media can be used to produce a variety of end products, including, so another example that we can, or more popular, so we have the presentation. Again, in your presentation, it covers also, it can be a digital media, since in a presentation you're going to use laptop, computer, or tablet, or any devices. Tutorials also, tutorials can be accessed through online or through video recording, the simulation also, the games, and then the web pages. So we have the three types of digital media. Okay, in a circle, you will notice these are just an example of the digital media. Okay, so you have the TV, radio, website, social media, email, SMS, blog, mobile application, and podcast. Okay, so for the three types, we have the owned media, paid media, and earned media. So we're going to discuss one by one. So first, the owned digital media. By definition, it is any online asset that you can control. This type of media is typically unique to your brand. To your brand, that means the word own, it is yours, or it is your own content. It is your website, social media channels, blogs, videos. Okay, that is owned digital media. Maybe some of you here are creating content. They are posting in their social media or in a YouTube channel, maybe in a website. Okay, so that is owned digital media. As long as you own this content, so that is called as owned digital media, because it can be accessed through digital devices or tools also. Another one is the paid digital media. So by definition, paid media promotes your online content to improve traffic to your own media assets. So this form of media typically includes paid search ads, okay, display ads, Facebook ads. So since you are creating your own content, maybe some of you here have a lot of blogs or or content in their social media account. Maybe some of their content has the ads already, Facebook ads, display ads, or search ads. So that is a paid digital media. Then next we have the earned digital media. Since we experienced the ads already in our content, so we earned media. So by definition, it is advertising generated by your customers. That means the earned media or the content coming from your customers. Okay, so when customers advocate for your brand via word of mouth, social media, reviews, testimonials, shares, reposts, etc. So this is the best form of endorsement a business can have. Okay, so for example, in Shopee, Lazada, before you buy a product or click the add to cart or place order, you review the testimony or reviews, comments of those who buy the products. Okay, that means for you to be more you will feel agreed that the product is good, is okay, because of those testimony or reviews that you can read. Okay, so that is earned digital media. Why is it earned? Because since your products or services is good, so your customer will create testimony or reviews, so that it will help you to interact with other customers also. So that is earned digital media. Hopefully you understand the three types of media, the digital media, I mean. Now let's proceed to digital citizenship. So by definition, it refers to the responsible use of technology by anyone who uses computers, the internet, and digital devices. Again, those who are using computers, internet, digital devices to engage with society on any level. So that is digital citizenship. If you're using digital devices, your smartphone, internet, computers, you belong to the digital citizenship that we call. Okay, so you have to be responsible because you are accessing the internet. Okay, you are being accessed by anyone. Okay, so we have the elements of digital citizenship. So number one, the access. When we talk about the access, please do to read the definition. So for the access, if for example, as a future teachers, since you are future teachers, so you have to check also the accessible level of your students. So for example, you require them to search from the internet and they are going to submit that by tomorrow. So make sure that they can access that one. They have the capability to access the place can be accessible by the they can access the internet. Okay, so that's that to make sure also the access level of your students. You have to be aware. You have to make sure that it is available also to your students. Okay, so again, access, the word access, so they can access or students can access that particular technology, or let's say the digital devices, or let's say the homework. Okay, so performance tests that they need the internet, okay, or the digital device. Okay, next is commerce, refers to the buying and selling of items online. Again, that's commerce, e-commerce, buying and selling of items online. Okay, it's not about the products that we can buy, but of course because of the advertisement of other schools, so we can see potential level about the school. Maybe you will like to enroll, or your child will enroll to that school because of the ads. So make sure also to access the validity of that ads, okay, because it will affect also in their future decision or in their future job. Okay, so again, when When accessing the internet, it should be guided by the parents, by yours. If you have your younger sister, younger brothers in your home, okay, because being in the technology or being in the digital world, that is very crucial to manage. Okay, so next is community and collaboration. It includes digital relationships. Okay, teaching students how to appropriately interact on the internet is a huge part of digital citizenship. So for example, in education, if your teacher is literate using the technology, it can you will feel easy to access the internet or adopt the new normal, because your teacher will guide you to access how to access the e-learning. Okay, so sometimes it matters also about the knowledge that the teachers have to share with their students. So the community in the online, let's say in our MS Teams channel, that is community already. So we have the community in the internet or in our MS Teams. So the collaboration of ideas, or how we maximize to use the MS Teams application. So it has the effort also, and also the impact of the knowledge that the teachers have, that the students can learn. Okay, so it's not just about the students, but also by you since you are future teachers, you have to maximize also, okay, your learnings about technology. Do not limit yourself that, for example, you are just using Edmodo, so you will stick on the Edmodo. You can probably use Google Meet for the conference. Yeah, so that's the example of community and collaboration. Next is etiquette. So it covers the rules of conduct when interacting with the digital world. So knowing the rules before jumping online helps students be more aware of their digital footprint. Again, it should be guided by the older one, because again, as I have said, it is very crucial in the digital world. Okay. So next, fluency. So fluency is not just the how fluent you are in speaking English or speaking different languages, but it is about the how you check the information, if that is a fact or fiction. Okay, so that is a fluency in digital citizenship. So you have to make sure that every content that you are searching, you are going to validate if that is true information from authorized person, or maybe that information is from a person who are not authorized, or it's just an opinion, or maybe from some marites that we call nowadays. Okay, so that is a very important also, that we know where the information coming from. Another one is the health and welfare. So look at the physical and psychological side of technology. Because of the technology, sometimes we cannot manage our time. Okay, that is why you have the interaction log. So go back to your interaction log and check what providers you are mostly use in a day, and how you spend your time in that particular provider. Okay, maybe because you are exposed, you are not productive, you cannot study because you scrolled in social media. So you have to check that, you have to assess yourself also, because maybe you are addicted in scrolling or by accessing games. Okay, that your health and your welfare, you are setting aside it. Okay, so this aspect also covers cyberbullying and helping students be aware of what they say and post online. Okay, you have to be responsible also. You have to make sure before you click, you have to think. So that is very very well-known quote from Anonymous. um of course, let's say before you post, you have to make sure that your information, or maybe you are not affecting other people, okay, in their advantage, or just I mean in their maybe it will harm people, so you have to make sure on that. Okay, so next we have the law. Since we have to make sure about the how we fact check, and also the health and welfare, we have the law, okay, that will protect us, okay, from others. So maybe some of you here experience, and or maybe you know someone experience cyberbullying, sexting topics. So please be responsible as a user. Okay, next, rights and responsibilities. Since we have the law that that is protecting us to use the technology from cyberbullying, sexting topics, or any illegal using the internet or devices, we have the rights and responsibilities also. We have the rights to access, we have the rights to use, we have the rights to be in social media, but of course you have to make sure to check your responsibilities also, that every action, it has the consequences. Sometimes it can be harmful, maybe that is for good, maybe that is for bad. Okay, so we have to make sure that we have to check our rights and responsibilities, because we are, again, as I have said, we are in the crucial that we are using, or we are exposed in digital world. So everything can be recorded, everything can be accessed by anyone, so you have to check on that. Since it can be checked, it can be accessed by anyone, so you have to make sure the security and privacy level of yours. Okay, so what does it mean? It's not just about the installing antivirus in your devices, in your computer, in your smartphone, but of course you have to make sure the privacy level that you have, that you shared in your social media account, or in your let's say your channel or YouTube channel, or in your social media channel. Okay, you have to set what are those private that no need to share with, I mean to share in public. You still have your private information to keep, so make sure that you still have. Okay, do not share all your information in public. That make to I mean that will help also to feel you safe all the times. Okay, so again, it's not that you have to share all things in public. You have to set also what could be a private information that will keep in private. Okay, so since we are now in the review quiz slide, I want you to comment in the comment section your section dash your last name. For example, Bitivited 2A dash De La Cruz. Okay, for me to check who are those students who watched the video. If you are still here, that means you watch all the you watch and listen all the topics in this lesson. Okay, so again, comment in the comment section your section dash your last name. For example, Bitivited 2A dash De La Cruz. Okay, so now let's proceed to our review quiz. So number 1, pay-per-click. What do you mean by pay-per-click? That is paid media. Content from other audience or reviews. That is earned media. Protecting from computer virus. That is security and privacy. Very good. Next, we have to be responsible in using technology. What do we mean by that? That is law. And then we have the electronic shopping. That is e-commerce. So hopefully you learned something, and please review the recording for your reference. So thank you everyone for being here, and God bless. Stay safe.